Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Here, Rockwell's Black Connection with my review of Captain Marvel. Okay, so what is Captain Marvel about? A Kree soldier tries to thwart an invasion of Earth by a shape-shifting alien race called the Skrulls, while also trying to learn about her own personal history. Quick opinions. Honestly, it's a fun MCU movie. I would place it probably low high tier, high mid tier. It's not the best, definitely not the worst. So who all's in it? We got Brie Larson as Veers, or Carol Danvers, member of the Kree Star Force, who only remembers the last 6 years of her life. Has flashes of life, however, on a completely different world. Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, longtime S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and Veers' first contact on Earth. Or shall I say first ally. Better way to put it. Ben Mendelsohn as Talos and Keller, high-ranking Skrull operative masquerading as S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Keller. Jude Law as Yon-Rogg, leader of Star Force and Carol and Veers' mentor. Djimon Hounsou as Korath, Kree soldier at second in command of Star Force, not known for a sense of humor. And yes, that's Djimon Hounsou reprising his role from Guardians of the Galaxy. Lee Pace as Ronan the Accuser, once again also reprising his role. Commander of an orbital bombing wing that tends to serve from what I can tell, from what is shown in the beginning, they tend to serve as a distraction for Star Force landing on a planet. Lashana Lynch as Maria Rambeau, oldest friend of Carol Danvers, as well as fellow Air Force pilot. Annette Bening is Dr. Wendy Lawson, scientist seen in Carol's flashbacks. Also, the form that the Supreme Intelligence, the AI that rules the Kree Empire, takes when communicating with Veers. Yeah, well, Carol, Veers, same person. Yeah, that's kind of a thing, is that no one sees the Supreme Intelligence the same way. Usually someone that the person admires, and like I said, Dr. Lawson is who Veers sees. However, it's often stated in the early portions of the movie, at least, that she doesn't know who or why the Supreme Intelligence takes that form. Anyway, moving on. Clark Gregg reprises his role as Agent Coulson. At this point, he's a recently recruited S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and basically Fury's partner. Gemma Chan as Min Irva, who's the sniper for Star Force. That's really... There's not a lot to the character. She's a pilot as well. But yeah, not... So anyways, spoiler-free breakdown. So Star Force, a squad of Kree soldiers led by Yon-Rogg, is sent to a Kree Skrull border world to retrieve a spy before said spy can be captured by the Skrulls, a race of shape-shifting aliens. They're at war with the Kree. During the mission, Star Force member Veers is captured by the Skrulls and put through a memory probe, which unearths some of Veers' memories of Earth. Veers manages to break free thanks to her energy powers and damages the ship, leading to Veers and the Skrull crew evacuating to Earth in escape pods. The pod that Veers is in is damaged before it leaves the ship, and burns upon re-entry, and Veers lands in a Blockbuster Video as shown in the trailers. She manages to, after raiding a Radio Shack, Veers manages to get in contact with Yon-Rogg and basically, hey, this is where I'm at. This, the scrolls are here too. I'm gonna do what I can to, yeah. But yeah, anyway. And she also brings up the memories they were trying to dig out of her, well, memory. Almost, almost direct right after being told by Yon-Rogg that Star Force is en route, Veers meets Nick Fury and is promptly attacked by a Skrull, leading to a chase through Los Angeles with Veers chasing the Skrull on a train. The train sequences, the train shots that show up in a lot of the trailers, and Fury following the train in his car. However, the Skrull manages to elude Carol, but leaves behind a crystal which contains the memories that they extracted from her. So she utilizes it and then steals a motorcycle and some clothes, which I kind of think might be a nod to Terminator 2, and heads to a bar that factored it heavily into her memories. When she arrives, she's met by Fury, and the two talk about Veers' memories of Earth, especially Project Pegasus, and Dr. Wendy Lawson. Fury ends up taking Veers to Project Pegasus, where they learn some surprises about Dr. Lawson, and that Veers might have been involved with Project Pegasus before they are forced to leave in what appear. The best way to describe it is a Quinjet prototype, though they do call it, if I heard correctly in the movie, a quad jet. But they take the jet to go talk to Maria Rambeau. When Veers and Fury arrive at Maria Rambeau's home, Veers is greeted as Carol Danvers by Maria and her daughter, the missing pilot from Project Pegasus. Veers manages to learn the truth about her past, as well as Dr. Lawson, the truth about Dr. Lawson, and the location of the lab, which is a major thing that both factions are looking for. So, Carol, Fury, and Rambeau go to the lab, but soon after Star Force arrives, events that can't be brought up in a spoiler-free breakdown, without going into spoilers, lead to a fight breaking out between Carol and Star Force, which Carol wins. As Ronan and his bomber wing show up. Carol ends up first taking out the first salvo herself, and then the other the next wave, which includes fighters, and when basically they're taking both of those out, Ronan first says, "You know what? Let's go home. This is not. Let's just get the fuck out of here." So they do. Yon-Rogg also is sent back to Hala, the Kree Throne world. Then after saying her goodbyes to Fury and Maria, Carol goes back to space as well, for reasons. And there is, of course, a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene. No, I'm not going to talk about either one of those. So, what did I like about the movie? I like the cast. Brie Larson did a good job of Carol Danvers. I think this is going to be a very different take on Carol Danvers than the character that I know from the comics, in the fact that she's gone through a lot already, and so there are some things that that comics Carol Danvers might end up going through that won't end up that movie Carol Danvers won't go through. Now, one thing that might might happen is we may end up having the whole thing with Rogue and Carol Danvers might actually happen. So now that the Disney deal, with the Disney deal, Disney Fox deal soon to be finalized. But yeah, anyway, it was also really interesting to see how Ronan, Korath, Fury, and Coulson were before their initial movie appearances. I thought the Skrull makeup looked pretty good. Also, the Skrull shapeshifting effects were very interesting, I thought. The space battle scene that I mentioned near the end of the movie, wherein Carol takes on the entire bomber wing, that was actually really, really cool to watch. It looked good. It looked great. And it's an interesting reimagining of Carol and her related characters and concepts. So, it's not perfect, though. Some of the digital effects really didn't mesh well, I didn't think. However, the shape-shifting and Carol's energy blasts are not amongst the ones that didn't mesh well. Well, energy powers, I'll just put it that way. It wasn't just blasts. I think some of the twists the story takes are kind of obvious. You know, you see one like, oh yeah, this. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that feels telegraphed. There's a saying about, if you put a gun in a drawer in Act 1, use it by Act 3. Well, a lot of guns got put in a lot of drawers and they got used. Anyway, overall opinion, it's a fun popcorn flick, Yeah, there are some scenes, basically having Carol overcome being told she can't do something, or and some the scene where she steals a motorcycle. The owner of the motorcycle is a jerk who spends 2 minutes trying to get her to smile, and it's the character's annoying, and I'm glad he was only on the one scene. But it's not the best MCU movie, but it's definitely not the worst. It sets up some things that we've known about, but maybe didn't know how they came to pass. And hopefully it also sets up some things to come. I'd say an overall rating, 3.75 out of 5. I almost wanted to give it a 4, but just no. It's definitely more than 3.5. Well, anyway, that is it for today. There will not be a video tomorrow. I will be busy elsewhere. This is Rock and Roll Spock. Well, as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon and Twitch box down below. Hit the bell icon. We notify when I put new content. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.